You know, often we try to find people that believed in the teams that win in the playoffs, but you couldn't find a man that believes in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers more than their head coach, Todd Bowles. Let's find out why in this press conference.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
So here we go. We are watching Mr. Todd Bowles come up to that press conference after this amazing Eagles win. He deserves so much credit. Baker played out of his mind. The Eagles look like they collapsed, to be honest with you. But credit goes where credit is due. That's what this man right here. So let's give him his moment.
Hey guys. Thank you.
If I'm not mistaken, is that your first playoff win as head coach?
Yes, it is.
Gosh, how does that feel for you?
It was enjoyable, very enjoyable. Good to see the guys playing hard.
You were masterful on third down.
I am super happy for him. I didn't know that was his first win. I'm actually trying to. Oh, it was Arians that won with Brady. Okay, so yeah, this is his first. Mad props to you, Bowles. You didn't just win, man. You went out there and demolished, put the Eagles back in their coop or whatever you want to think. But man, what a game! What a game! Congratulations! Congratulations!
0 of 9 the Eagles had, and also 0 of 2 on fourth down. What was the key on stopping their third down and even their fourth down plays?
Not getting them in third and short, number one. Had a package where we created just to get some pressure on them, to kind of confuse them up front a little bit, and the guys were playing hard.
To help negate the Eagles' running game, you really shut it down for them. Just speak to that creativity and going to that approach, which has been a bit unconventional for you to use that much in the game.
There were some big guys up front. As you know, the last time we played them, they got over 200 yards rushing. We're bound not to let that happen again, so we make sure we put some calls in to try to scheme up some things and get them out of it a little bit.
Thought Baker could have had an even bigger day. There was about 6 drop passes out there, I think, on the first half. But for what he has done to come in here, throw 3 touchdowns, beat a defending champion, what can you say about him?
He was sharp. I mean, the whole game he was sharp. Like you said, they dropped some balls, but he kept coming back.
He really did, man. Baker played out of his mind. Congratulations. He was a former Carolina Panther, and I thought it could have been interesting if we kept him around. I believe in Baker a little bit. Didn't believe it, really believe with him. Believe in him when he played for the Browns. It was kind of a weird situation, but honestly, looking back on it, the Browns should have kept him long term because what they've done post Baker has been just atrocious, and they needed a 39, 40-year-old Joe Flacco to come out and help them to the playoffs. So yeah, they should have just kept Baker.
Kept going to him. He was putting the ball in only a place where they could catch it. He didn't turn it over. They kept making play after play after play. He did a hell of a job.
It seemed like on the bench he was encouraging his guys to keep coming to you. He was very positive. I know he's always like that, but was he particularly upbeat, keeping those guys up today?
I thought all those guys were upbeat. I think Tristan was upbeat. Everybody on the sideline was upbeat. Offense, defense, special teams. Everybody was into it. Everybody was helping each other out. It's a good team win.
It seemed like every time that Philadelphia might try to get some momentum, your team came up with a big play. What does that say about how prepared they were today?
They were ready to play. You know, we're not going to go in there trying to play for a tie. We were going for the win. We know we're underdogs. We'll be underdogs next week, too. We understand that. We embrace it. We like it. Them guys come up play after play. We'll enjoy the night. We'll get going tomorrow in Detroit.
Interesting matchup, okay? I love the idea of the Lions, coming in there, kicking the crap out of the Bucs and everything like that. But that's only because I'm a Panthers fan. I got a little bit of hate in my heart for them, but that's okay. Realistically, though, Baker goes out there, gets some dimes out to Evans, Godwin. I mean, Cade looks amazing. Rachaad White even got going a little. I mean, the firepower on the Bucs is amazing. And then, of course, the defensive side of the ball, y'all got some dudes over there. I'm not even going to go into that side of the ball. So I could absolutely see this being a Lions win. I could absolutely see this being a Bucs blowout. But we're not going to know for another week. As we get closer, I think I'm going to, decide on that. If Baker's still hurt, probably going to go with the Lions because that defense is relentless, that grit that I talked about in their last breakdown. But, man, this Bucs team could absolutely come out here, put 100 yards on Evans, put 100 yards on Godwin, 100 yards rushing from Rachaad White, and just go out there and get a massive dub. So, could be a real interesting year.
Trey Palmer, David Moore all made huge huge plays, not your top two guys in terms of Godwin and Evans. Can you talk to how those guys impacted the game and how they've been all season?
It's a credit to those guys working to get open. It's a credit to Mike and Chris drawing guys away from them, and Baker finding them. So they did a hell of a job finishing plays, especially the run after catches with Moore and Palmer, and turning them into touchdowns. So that was outstanding.
Can you speak to the importance of that sequence at the end of the third quarter with Anthony Nelson getting the safety and then the touchdown to Trey Palmer on the 2 plays later?
That was huge because at that point I think it was a one-score game. I think it was 16-9. We had them backed up. A relentless pass rush kept going and going for Nelson. He just comes up with play after play after play at the right time, and then we get a score after that. That kind of opened it up a little bit and gave us a little bit of cushion, and that was outstanding.
You can stop the tush push, Todd. That's an example of physicality, though, right?
It is. I'm glad we didn't get into it too many times. I think the first game they had about 4 or 5 3rd-and-1s, and I think we were like 1 for 4. So we were 1 for 1. I'll take it. Don't want to go against it again, though.
Todd, you were uber aggressive.
Yeah, dude, people were freaking out over this whole tush push thing. I saw people like, "Oh, the tush push is over," blah 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 blah. But which it might be now that Travis Kelce, now that Jason Kelce has announced his retirement. But could they continue it? Sure. But right now, whatever's happening in Philly is going to be a real interesting, real Housewives of Philly style moment. So everyone's going to have their popcorn and watching that, whereas the Bucs are at least pretty stable as an organization. Though they might lose Dave Canales to another team, a lot of the Panthers fan base obviously wants him to move over there, but it's going to be real interesting. Canales, in my opinion, would be a great pickup for us in Carolina. But it'd also be a great thing to stay one more year and see what you can do with Baker and everybody, especially if you guys retain Mike Evans. So,
Offensively, with the blitz packages on 3rd down and offensively, was that just the message all week long, not only in the game plan, but for the players to play that way?
Well, we thought we'd have trouble rushing 4. We thought we can get back there, but he's so athletic and he can move around. He can hurt you with his feet. We were trying not to let him hurt us with his feet.
You trust you guys in man too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Todd, there were 2 guys that played a lot tonight that, had, like Zion McCollum played a lot of safety tonight. Can you speak to that? And also KJ Britt getting the majority of the snaps at Mike linebacker for you?
Well, KJ was in the 6-man package, so that helped out a lot in that package. That kept them in it. They hadn't been doing that much 12 personnel, but they did, so that package played a big part. And Zion, we knew we had to cover him if we're going to go after him, so we needed a better cover guy. And Zion, along with the other 2 guys, those are our best cover guys, and he's earned his playing time. Like I said, we can use him anywhere we want.
These do-over games, when you're the team that comes out on the losing side, I heard recently that it can be actually advantageous because you realize that, okay, the method you used the first time wasn't successful, so you got to try something different. Do you see it that way? I mean, how do you approach these games against teams that have beat you previously?
No, I mean, you change some things. It doesn't mean they're going to work. I've been against teams that beat me and then came back and beat me again. The guys were ready to play. They were prepared. They wanted it. We played hard. We played hard and we fought for it.
things that a lot of people have said, of course, the GOAT, Rich Eisen, have said is it's hard to beat a team once. It's extremely hard to beat them twice. It's damn near impossible to beat them 3 times. So if you end up getting one of those teams where you have to play them again and again and again, yeah, of course, it's going to be a little bit more advantageous, in my opinion, to be the loser on the beginning one and then get the rematch in the playoffs. We've seen that a few times. I think it might actually be repeating. Again, my tinfoil hat of what's going to happen actually in the AFC side is the Bills are going to destroy the Chiefs, and then the Ravens are going to destroy the Texans. But the Bills are basically going to blow their load early, and then not be able to really compete. So it's that, having to play them over and over again kind of thing. So yeah, I will side with him on this. I think the more you play somebody, the harder it gets, of course.
Are you going to celebrate tonight, and how are you going to celebrate, Todd?
If I can get 8 hours of sleep, that will be a celebration.
What can you say about this group to be able to have a victory like this in the playoffs with the way they had to come back at the end of the season, winning 5 out of 6 games, just their tenacity and their resilience?
I mean, it's big. It says a lot. It says a lot about the growth of our team from where we were in the beginning to the middle toward the end, and now playing with confidence, playing team football. Everybody's playing fundamentally sound and technique sound. We got relatively healthy at the end. That helped out too. And those guys, they want it. They see it, and they're going to compete every week.
The coaching staff too, because in order to get out of a hole like that, you have to dig deep yourselves.
Coaching staff has been outstanding. Those are the same guys every day, you know, the same guys that we've gone to the playoffs the last 4 years with, and there's some new offensive guys that came in and gelled right away. Credit to them, the work they put in every day, the teaching they constantly do over and over and over, and staying with it and seeing the results of it. That's big. I'm proud of them.
What do you say about Baker and his toughness in the last few weeks, and then to play the way he did today?
He gutted it out. I mean, you know, if you looked at him during the week, he was limping around. He wasn't practicing. He was getting a little better each day. Hopefully they didn't hit him too much. I know they got some shots on him, and they got 4 sacks. So he came back from that. He stayed with the plan. He never flinched. He made play after play after play, and that says a whole lot about him.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Baker on his way in.
I could not agree more. Man, Baker went out there and proved a lot of doubters wrong, including myself. I was vehemently against him, like I said, being the number 1 pick for the Browns, but he has continued to show that he has it, that he took the criticism of people calling him Manziel and everything, and is really running with that and really excelling. So obviously I'm hoping for the best moving forward for Baker. I'm hoping the Bucs retain him, of course, unless they get some kind of crazy better guy. If not, Baker will have a landing spot somewhere. But if you ever want to find more breakdowns like this on the regular, make sure to subscribe to us on the socials below. My name is Nick. This has been Roll Coverage. Hopefully you have a great rest of the day. Peace.